Hello, it's Red here. And today I'm going to be reading the glorious r/Today I effed up. Okay, let's get into it. Today I effed up by not knowing what an onion was. This happened when I was about 19. So I had a friend that was a pretty shady guy, but a good friend nonetheless. We'd known each other all through high school. We sort of went our separate ways after graduation, but would occasionally call just to check in or go to a party together. So this one day he calls me out of the blue and he says, "Hey man, I'm in a tight spot. Do you have an onion I can buy real quick?" I look in the fridge and say, "Yeah, I got 4. How many do you need?" He says, "Damn, bro. I didn't know you had it like that. I need 1 for now, but I might need more later. How much you gonna charge me?" I tell him just give me $1, and he gets super excited like, "Hell yeah, man. You've always been a good friend, bro." He says he'll be there in 30 minutes and we hang up. Of course, I'm thinking, why the F is he so excited about a freaking onion? Whatever, maybe he's making meatloaf and forgot to buy onions. So he pulls up 30 minutes later and I go outside with the onion in my hand feeling pretty good about helping my friend out. He flips out like, "WTF is this? Are you trying to rip me off? Are you a frickin' fed?" I'm standing there confused as hell. "Bro, you said you wanted a damn onion. What's the problem?" At that point, I think he realized what's happening and says, "F you, bro. You're wasting my time," and speeds off. Still in a state of shock, I go into the house thinking maybe he wants a different type of onion than the one I had. I call my dad and explain the weirdness of what happens and he just laughs for a good 10 minutes. Turns out onion is a unit of measurement for drugs. And $1 in that context means $100, which is way below the market value. Who knew? Never talked to or heard from him again. He's in prison now. Oh my god. Oh, I want to say this on a TV show. I mean, this could have gone so wrong for you though. Like, if he was that desperate, you're lucky he just drove off, I think. Okay, here is the next story. Today I effed up by accidentally slipping out 2 extra words at the end of a sentence. I worked full time, but there were some part-time workers there who were only there Thursdays and Fridays. One of the part-time workers was a properly really crabby British punk girl. She had a huge attitude and was always moaning and whining and answering back to her supervisor, often in a very crass manner. She was very direct and never held back. If she wasn't happy about something, boy, did she let you and everyone else in the room know. One time she was telling us this long story about an encounter she had with a guy in a nightclub. She mentioned all the alcohol and drugs she was on that night, and then she said the guy in the club had basically implied she was fat. She concluded the story with, "I effing clocked that mother effer right round his effing face, and the effing expression he made like it was effing priceless. The aunt had no effing clue what hit him." As she told the story, everyone around her started laughing and saying, "Yes, girl," and that kind of stuff. Then I said, "Was he fat himself?" Except that's what I meant to say. 2 extra words slipped out at the end of the sentence. I have no idea why or where those extra words came from. I didn't conjure them in my head, but my mouth just said them out loud. What I actually said was he fat himself as well? I have no idea where the "as well" came from. She was thin as a rake. As soon as I finished that sentence, I quickly put my hand to my mouth as if I could somehow unsay the words that had just slipped out. Suddenly, she gave me the biggest death glare I have ever seen. If looks could kill, the whole room, heck, the whole building would have died at that exact moment. So much ice, hatred, and contempt surged through her face. She slowly came up to me and it felt like the Grim Reaper herself was approaching me.
What the F do you mean as well?
I realised I could be 2 seconds away from becoming the next mother effer that could be clocked right round his face. The next aunt who wouldn't know what hit him. In my panic, I fumbled some sentence about how thin she is and how I meant to say something else like, no, I meant like, I bet he's fat as well, and as in like, well, not like you, but like as well, so he couldn't comment, and oh crap, it's 3, I'm late for my meeting. I had no meeting. She just stared at me, each second feeling like an hour. I was waiting for the blow and to be knocked out cold. I was briefly trying to remember all my karate from when I was a kid and wondering if I would finally actually use the 5 years of lessons to get my black belt for something useful. Finally, shook her head and said, "Effing, man. All the effing same. Effing pathetic little bumheads. All of them. Absolutely no exceptions." Then she angrily walked off, and everyone else around her basically implied I was a massive bombhead. I tried to say I really didn't mean to say as well, and that it literally just slipped out, but I of course didn't want to hear it. From that group I was forever alienated until I left that job. I basically had to avoid them whenever I saw them and kept well away from them. In their eyes I was a fat shamer and nothing was going to change that. Oh, you have no idea how many tries it took for me to get that story out of my mouth. I think it's a curse. Oh, I had so much trouble speaking through that one. Okay, here's another one. Today I effed up by asking a truly stupid question. They say there's no such thing as a stupid question, right? I was working overnights at a factory and we'd play these word games to pass the time. One night we're playing this game where one person says a famous person's name and the next person has to say another famous person's name that starts with the first letter of the previous famous person's last name. So one person says Paul McCartney, the next person says Mickey Mouse. You get it. You can't repeat names, so as the game goes on it gets harder to think of names. It's late in the night, we've been through what felt like hundreds of names in our little 6-person department, and I'm stuck on someone famous whose name starts with E. I shout loudly, "Hey guys, what's Einstein's last name?" Shocked silence followed by howling laughter. It took my tired brain a minute to figure out what I'd said, and by the end of the shift, the entire warehouse was calling me Einstein. Yeah, that's definitely something I'd call an F up. I hope you guys enjoyed those r/today I effed up stories. Read by Red, that's me. Please give the video a like and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you.